Hey everyone, it is Dennis, and in this video we're going to be going over customer demographics and how ChatGPT can help you determine them. Now, if you're an experienced marketer and you're like, I already know how to market, I already know my target demographic, I just want to learn the ChatGPT stuff. Well, still watch, because that's what we're doing, is I'm teaching you some very cool tricks of how to use ChatGPT. And the exercise that we'll be doing to learn those is customer demographics. Now, out of a hat, I picked teenager backpacks. That's what we're going to sell. I think throughout this whole course, that's something that we're going to be pretending to sell. So I'm in ChatGPT here, and I'm going to use the advanced model, ChatGPT 4. It says here, speed is low. It's not just that. It's also, you get more errors with it. So we'll see how this goes. If you need reliability, go with ChatGPT 3.5, but it's not going to be as well written or as good, and you're not going to be able to do any of these tricks. But if you're in a pinch, go for 3.5. We're going to be going for ChatGPT 4. And what we are going to ask it is, you're going to like this, okay? I want to identify my target audience. And here's the special sauce. Ask me questions until you have an understanding to build a buyer persona. Now, this is a tip I picked up from a friend, and it's genius, because if you're not familiar with what you're asking ChatGPT, and you're not familiar with ChatGPT and how it works, you might not know what input to give it. That's why we're giving you like 100 prompts, right? Is because you don't really know what information to feed it. Well, this is really the only prompt you need, because it will ask you for the information it needs. Now, every time it asks you like different questions, sometimes I'm asked 8 questions, sometimes I'm asked 20. So it's going to depend on ChatGPT and like what mood it's in today, right? But this is the first like big tip. The whole course was worth it just for this right here. Ask me questions until you have enough understanding to build a buyer persona. And then I continue. This is the same question. Based on your questions, I want you to determine name, occupation, background, goals, challenges, online behavior, and the best ways to reach. So I'm going to copy this, and we are going to paste it right here into ChatGPT. And I'm going to click enter to send. Okay, and it is asking me the questions, like right off the bat. What is the product or service you're offering? What problem does your product or service aim to solve? Or what benefits does it provide? Can you think of any specific age group or demographic that would benefit most from your product or service? Are there any? So it's asking me, let's see how many questions it gets out. Right now, it is at 1 through 9. Let's see if this goes to 20 or if it stops at 10. Let's see. 10. Okay. Like I said before, I did this and it went to 8. I did this before and it went to 20. So I'm not going to go over each of these because the questions are going to be different for everybody. But I am going to just pause this video and then blip back in with all of these filled out. Actually, before I do that, I just want to show you something, okay? So right here where it says send a message, I'm going to move my video up here so it doesn't obstruct the send button. You see the send button right here. If you start typing here and you do like 1, and this is how you could answer. You could just put like list the numbers 1, 2, 3. Now, what I'm doing there to put that space is I am holding shift and I'm clicking return. And what that does is it does this. Otherwise, if you just press return, it's going to send it. And then it's going to say, it seems you've left the questions unanswered. So I'm going to click stop generating. And I'm going to go back up here and you'll see right here, there's a little edit button. You can click that. And all right, so now I'm going to pause the video and then we'll blip back in with all of these 10 filled out. All right, so we're back. Now I filled out all 10 of these, okay? And I want to show you some things that I did. So I said it's for fashion forward. The product is fashion forward backpacks for teenagers. Why does your product exist? Teenagers need backpacks for school. We help them look cool while wearing one. But here's what I want to show you is right here. It says something that's over a sentence. And I want to let you know that that's okay. The whole point of ChatGPT is that it parses your language that you type naturalistically, and it will break it down itself into the data points it needs. So here we are writing, like it says, what's the age range? And I said primary audience will be late high school, early college. 13 to 24 is the total range. 16 to 20 is the most likely to purchase. You can do that. You could ramble on. You could answer each one of these in a whole paragraph if you like, and make ChatGPT do the work to analyze that data. That is actually something it's pretty good at. And then you could see here, I wrote for a question, I'm not sure. Probably not. That was to, are your potential customers predominantly located in a specific geographic area or region? Like the real answer to that is no, because this product would be for everybody just in America, which you would put America and maybe UK or like whatever your strategy is. But here I put, I'm not sure, probably not, because you can answer that. You could say, I don't know, or I don't know how to figure that out, or you could ask it to ask follow-up questions, although I warn against it. I warn against asking too many follow-up questions while it's already asking you questions. That's just, it's going to get messy. So we could save and submit, and it will change your response. And now it is writing, it's answering the question. Based on your responses, I have created a buyer persona for your target audience. And it's just going ahead and it's doing it. Occupation, college student, Jessica Smith. Jessica's a 19-year-old college student studying business management. She comes from a middle-class family and has a strong interest in fashion, keeping up with the latest trends, blah, 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 blah. And it's telling you the goals and the challenges. It's going to tell you the online behavior and the best ways to reach. So this is a very valuable marketing tool. I have charged clients to make something like this thousands of dollars. But, like that, a lot of research goes into it. With this, it's only going off of what you're giving it. But you can do your own research. You could format it like that. Like what ChatGPT helps with is this formatting. So once this wraps up, we are going to ask it some more questions. And also, I want to let you know that ChatGPT takes your word as gospel, right? So if we look up here, I said social media, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram for what types of media or communication channels do your potential customers prefer. Now, if you said, I don't know, it would guess for you. But because I said TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, you'll notice down here that it is going to say particularly TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. And any follow-up questions that we ask after this, because you input TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, it is going to focus on those, hyper-focus on those, sometimes to the exclusion of other things. So you have to be very certain with your answers here. If you don't know something, say, I don't know. Again, if you don't know something and you put it in, ChatGPT is going to take that and run with it. All right. So I have some follow-up questions here. List the top 10 pain points of this buyer persona. List the top 10 goals and dreams. List the top 10 online behaviors. You're going to want to do these one at a time because ChatGPT isn't super reliable. So when you start asking it a bunch of questions, you're like this, if we ask them all three of this, it would be 30 points of data. And it's a lot of words, it's a lot of processing, and it might just stop in the middle of a sentence. We'll talk about that later in the pitfalls of ChatGPT. So I recommend asking one at a time, and it will come up with information. It will brainstorm for days. You could ask this thing anything. But what I'm very interested in asking it is this little bit, and we will use this for the entire rest of the course. Create a 200-word short summary of my buyer persona that anybody can understand. We're going to ask it this once this finishes up. Now, something I do want to note is if we were doing this for realsies, this says Jessica Smith. It uses the pronouns she, right? If I want to make this a guy as well, I would, instead of list the top 10 pain points, I would say rewrite this, but make it gender neutral, or rewrite this and add a guy's persona to it, or like whatever language you want. It's going to do the same thing. And what it would do is it would just take this away from Jessica, and it would say Jessica Smith / Jake Smith. And it would change all these she's to theys. And, that's just something I like to do, because any decisions you make early up on this pipeline during this planning phase, it's going to ripple down to every other thing. But for the example, I'm fine with it. Jessica Smith, that's who we're selling to here. So I'm going to paste this, create a 200-word short summary of my buyer persona that anybody can understand. And what this is going to do is it's going to create a piece of information that you can take and you can paste into a Word document, and you can use over and over and over again. Let's say that we're writing an email. You could say, write me an email targeted to my buyer persona. My buyer persona is, and then you could paste this in. Like, this is a piece of data. This is an asset. This is a piece of intellectual property that we are creating right now that we could then use again and again and again, and we are going to use it again and again. In the next video, we're going to use this again and again. So once it's finished writing, actually it looks like it's a little bit longer than 200 words. Let's see. I'm not always good at estimating this, so I'm actually going to go to one of my websites, word counter, and I'm going to paste this in here. Oh, look, it's 199 words. All right, ChatGPT, you proved me wrong. So you see how I copied it like that? Sometimes that messes up the formatting a bit. That's why over here in this corner, you could see they have a thumbs up if it wrote something good, thumbs down if it wrote something bad. This is how ChatGPT trains. And then this one puts it into your clipboard, and then we could go back over to text edit or your Google Docs or whatever you got going, and you could paste it in there and save this. You guys with your business, do it right now. Go through these steps and save it and label it buyer persona, because you could use this again and again and again. All right, I will see you in the next video, which we will talk about building your funnel. Building your content funnel, your business funnel. So I will see you there, and I hope you learned something good.